Hello, welcome to today's video. My name is Ethan. Today's exercise of the week number 3. Now today is the press up, and it's just a traditional press up. You know, we're all very familiar with the press up, but it's a horizontal pushing exercise that increases functional strength by activating a lot more muscles in your body than you actually realise. You know, a lot of people think, you know, it's just upper body strength. That's right, but you're also activating your core. You know, your back gets engaged, your glutes get engaged. So you're actually activating a lot more muscles than some that realise. Now, this is obviously a staple exercise for pushing. You know, this is the best way to, or one of the best ways of getting that horizontal push, especially if you've got no weights and you've got no, like, you can't do dumbbell or you can't do bench or anything like that. Push-ups are great because there's so many different various things you can do to alternate, increase, regress, which we'll show some of them today. Now, the main muscles that we're using in this exercise today is obviously your pectoral muscles, your triceps brachii, your serratus anterior. You're also using your deltoids, and you're also using your abdominals as well, just again for keeping that nice strong core. Plus, as I've mentioned already, you're getting all those other little activating muscles as well. Now, 3 sets of 10 is absolutely fine for any beginner or anyone, and obviously you get into different things and go into strength and muscular endurance and things like that. But 3 sets of 10 in whatever version you can do in is an absolute perfect way to start. So we'll get into it. Remember, this is just a traditional press up. You know, there's loads of different types you can do of different alternatives. We will get into progressions and regressions, just a couple that you know that are easier for you to do. So you want to come down on the floor. The way this is going to work, it's going to be put your hands straight out in front of you and just literally just go slightly wide. It's just a tiny bit wider than your shoulders. You know, we're not going too wide, we're not coming too close and turning them into different exercises. It's going to be straight forward, like your shoulders are straight, and you're just going to just push it wide just a little bit. So you're in here and push it wide just a little bit onto your toes. Now with the feet, you can have them wide. I prefer a bit wider stance. I know some people prefer it with totally straight feet, but I prefer it with a little bit of a stance in between. And then from here, not all my weight is over my hands, over my arms. So what you've got to do is, this is where a lot of people find that they're not doing it as correct as they should be. Because when they're here, a lot of the weight's behind the hands. All you need to do is push your toes forward like that. So rather than it being, so you're starting there, but as soon as you push, it goes here, and you sort of get that correct flexion around the shoulders, and your arms just, your weight goes over it, so you're actually bearing more weight. So obviously it does make it harder for those that aren't very good in the first place, but you're bearing more weight, therefore increasing and making the exercise a lot more effective. So get down into position, forward, and when you go down, you want to flex the elbows wide, and then you're coming back up. So you don't want to go too wide that you're totally pushing it like that, and again, you're not trying to keep them in as close as you can. You don't want to try and keep it quite natural and just have that sort of, it's kind of in between almost. You just want to keep it quite natural. And then with the hips, you want to have a straight line from neck to your bum, and from your bum down to your feet. So it's not just a total straight line down like this. It's more of an up in there. Straight line from the neck to the bum, bum down to the feet, rather than just total hanging down. And obviously we're not coming up either. It's a totally different exercise. So in here, make that position, pushing up. So you're going down slower than you're coming up, down quite slow, then pushing up fast. So, in the position. So one of 2 regressions that you can do for this is you can just simply just go on the knees. Now to get on the knees, try not to just go straight for the knees. Because in here, you end up in this really awkward position, you're not doing anything. There's literally not a lot happening. Still go into the press up position and then drop to the knees. And then bring your weight forward and then you go for it there. Because another regression for the press up is you can incline. You know, you can have things a lot higher than this as well. It could even be on the wall. The wall is obviously the most simplest version. You can have things that are up, because now gravity's not taking me as much. My centre of gravity is a lot more stable. I'm not just right to the ground, right up. I'm coming here, so I'm obviously up more at an angle rather than being totally flat. You have it higher. Obviously the higher it is, the easier it is. The lower it is, the harder it is. Simple as that. So from here, everything's the same. toes forward, chest down, like that. For one progression is you can just do, we've done an incline, now we can do a decline. It just makes it a little bit harder. So now rather than having the angle like that, the angle's still the same, except your weight's at the bottom, therefore again, just bearing up more weight. So you want to get your feet onto something. Again, you don't want this one's high this time. You just want to get your feet onto some sort of box, find the position, and you're going up. Progression number 2 is to just simply add weight. Now, this is probably the better choice than doing the decline, to be honest. Just increasing that weight, you're just increasing resistance. You're keeping the same position, just increasing that resistance. Now, if you're starting to go heavy with these, if you find yourself getting there, you're probably best finding someone to try and help you out getting the weights on and off. And remember, these are only progressions for a traditional press up. I know there's obviously you can go wide, you can do alternate and do awkward sort of stuff like that, but this is just for traditional press up. So you get the weight. Like I say, it's not that hard on your own. All you can simply do is just go into a sort of hands and knees, and then you find your position, and you rear press it from there, and it just makes it that much harder. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed that. Leave a comment down below what you think. Leave a comment down below also if you've got any other sort of ideas that you'd like me to add to this sort of exercise library that I'm sort of building to give you guys. If you didn't already know, I'm now an ambassador for Warrior Supplements. They're just basically obviously a supplement company that supply loads of sort of protein powders and bars, loads of different kind of powders. They also have apparel and all that as well. My discount code, I'll leave it down in the description below. Also, I'm not told you guys before actually, I'm also an ambassador for Physique Apparel, which is probably one of UK's #1 clothing, gym clothing company. It's just sort of it's not quite at the top, but it is still very, I wear all their stuff all the time. They're the sort of brand of clothing that I like to wear in the gym, and I'm always going around in their sort of stuff. So I'll leave that down in the description as well. So like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.